What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about a new Prince of Persia Twitter account that could have been created. So this comes from Dual Shockers. Actually, technically, it comes from Reddit, but we're going to read through what's been going on and if this could actually be true. I feel like it could. The site, again, Dual Shockers does make some good points that maybe it's not, but we'll talk about that in a second. So again, this was found by people over on Reddit that there's a Twitter account tied to Prince of Persia. It's actually at Prince of Persia is the username, and currently it's set to private and has no followers, and it's following no other account, so 0 and 0. And it was created May 2020, so it's a newer account. Now, you could be saying, now, is this actually Ubisoft? And this is what the site says too. Is this actually Ubisoft, or did somebody make an account that's Prince of Persia? If you go to try to say it's yours, if you log in trying to say, okay, well, this is my account, and you do the recovery, password, you try and find the password, it tells you could do like a text to a phone number, or it'll link you to and again, now they block it out. In fact, Twitter blocks it out, so you don't technically know, but it's PR and then a bunch of, stars, so you don't know what it says, but PR something at you, and keeps going. So is that saying press basically at Ubisoft.com, like something like that? So is it a Ubisoft email? It's possible. At the same time, if you just have an email that says PR and then a bunch of things in between at you, that is a way of definitely convincing people. I feel like like getting them to believe that is a Ubisoft account, especially when you put all of the other things together. So that's what this site goes on to say. It could just be some elaborate person. You don't just throw this together in like 2 seconds, but this could be an attempt by somebody who really wants to tease people to make all this stuff up. That's possible, or it could very well be something. We've seen in the past, like in LA Noire 2, there was like a YouTube playlist that was like set to private or had videos, but they were set to private, but they made like a playlist of it, and people thought that. And I still think that is a possibility that could actually be real, but we've seen this kind of stuff before. It'll be interesting because the timing absolutely makes sense. Again, I've actually talked about Prince of Persia on this channel quite a few times. So this is a game that I think does need a return. I think it's about time. I think it would actually do really well in the gaming world now. And remember, last year, going into E3 last year, everybody was talking about this. They were talking about, actually every year pretty much. But last year definitely was a big push of, is this the year for Prince of Persia? Is this the year for Splinter Cell, right? And now we have it where, going into this year, now there is no E3, but obviously that Ubisoft Forward event, which is, I believe, July 12th, that is going to be a really, really big day. I'm sure they're going to have brand new games for, that show. And while this game wouldn't be a game that would come out before March, because we already know, Gods and Monsters, Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, we already know Rainbow Six. We know the games that are coming out over the next, 7 months. After March, they haven't really said, because of their fiscal reports, they haven't said how many games, which games are coming out after it. Okay, so it definitely could be like a late fall, like a next-gen kind of a late fall game next year. That's definitely possible. So the timing definitely lines up that you would create this in May, it's set to private, and then obviously would come to life probably right after the event, right in July. Something to definitely keep our eyes on, even if it ends up being false. Obviously, actually, to keep your eyes on it just in case it's false, but I think there is something to it. Yes, again, it could be very just an elaborate prank. The timing is right. That's the biggest thing, is that literally this event is happening within the next like 2.5 weeks. Everybody's talking about Prince of Persia. There's been a lot of talk. Now, I believe some of the things have been found to be fake in terms of the Prince of Persia kind of lead-up stuff that we've talked about over the last little while. Fine, but at the same time, I really have a hard time believing they're not making a game. I think that's ultimately what it comes down to, is do you believe that Ubisoft is making a Prince of Persia game? If they are, then a lot of the things that are going on, they seem like they would make sense that they are going on. You know what I mean? So I think this game is probably in development. I think this game has a very high shot of being announced at this event. I'd actually be very surprised if they let this event go and there was no Prince of Persia. However, I will say again, there was probably equal thought that this was going to happen last year. Everybody was talking about Prince of Persia last year. Even I made a video on podcast now last year talking about it, and it, a lot of people, kind of echoed that statement, right? So this is a kind of reoccurring thing that anytime there is a Ubisoft event, again, Splinter Cell always comes back up. Prince of Persia always comes back up. But again, they've always had people in Ubisoft even say, like, hey, Splinter Cell's not done. Like, we plan on going back. Like, we know how important it is. Same thing with Prince of Persia. We know it's an important franchise. It's not like we're never going to do a game again. So they always tease us. They always talk about the potential of the future, which makes me think that they, at that time, either had plans or were already making it. You know what I mean? It just took a while, stuff like that. But I do think a game is in development. So again, we'll have to keep an eye on that Twitter account, see if anybody, comes out. Now, again, this came from Reddit, like the Reddit post, but you can go on Twitter and find it. So, I mean, it's not like it's not a legit thing. It's just, again, is that email made up? Did somebody go through the lengths to make the cell phone number, make the telephone number, make the email, make it seem like it is a Ubisoft email for a Prince of Persia account, do all of that just to get people to fall for it? You know what I mean? So we'll have to keep an eye on if that's true or false, but no matter what, we're going to find out within the next couple weeks. Again, Ubisoft, I believe it's like 2 weeks and a day from today, so it's very, very soon that we'll get a whole lot of information on Ubisoft games, not just potentially Prince of Persia, but lots of other things as well, right? So, guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Do you think this is fake? Do you think this is a real thing? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys subscribe to this YouTube channel, hit the bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up, and I do a brand new video on this channel every single day. Obviously, Prince of Persia is announced at this Ubisoft Forward event. I'll be covering it, and I'll actually be making loads of videos on here and on podcast now once that Ubisoft event happens, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all on tomorrow's video.